I think I just had a breakdown. I was about to start, and I think I had a little breakdown. Good evening, everybody. It is 7 o'clock. I'm not going to say we're ready to rock because by now you know that is just a given. I am Sir Thomas of Vaughan, and I am joined by Prince Karl of Morgan. Welcome, Karl. How are thee today?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. You okay?
To sleep a chance to dream, as Shakespeare once said. What have we got coming up on today's show?
Oh, Shakespeare, didn't you? You were mates with him in school.
Yeah, brilliant. Get an age gag in there. Fantastic. You know, just keep regurgitating the gags.
For 20 seconds yet, and I've already nailed you with an age gag.
Brilliant. He's short. He's old.
Ageist. That's what I am. Ageist.
You look like
people.
You look like you're somewhere different.
I am. I'm in my little studio room. It's been done. It's done. I won't put the camera that way because it's got a massive Tom Cruise poster, and I won't put it that way because it's got a massive BAFTA poster. And
Brilliant.
you love to rip me on it.
I don't love to rip you on it. Where did the Tom Cruise thing start? Because you told me that you did music for the trailer for, what was it, American Made?
It was just, you knew.
No, you did. You told me about it. I asked you. I said, why have you got a big... We were talking and it wasn't a podcast. It was just a friend thing. And you went, oh, yeah, I did some music for an advert for it. And then I think...
Drop it. You were like, Bit like when you put yourself up in a calendar behind you from March and it's in June.
It's not there. It's not there. And I took it down.
That's something behind you, though, today. What's that?
That's Uncle Fox.
But why have you got a fox up?
Because I give very little fox when it comes to daily life. I cannot beat that because I didn't say I said fox. You know.
Just said.
I did say then, yeah, but I didn't say before. I said I give very little fox.
It's cool. So what's the fox? What sound does the fox make?
Zoom did that thing where I could see you were making a noise, but no sound came out.
I'll make it again.
Oh, you got a bit more there. Yeah, brilliant. That's what noise the fox makes.
Do make that noise just to like slightly veer off. About 4 a.m, a couple of weeks ago, there were 2 foxes fighting in my back garden, and they make this noise.
Have you ever heard?
What? What's going on, Claire? Get up! There's a robber! You protect us!
Have you, and I might have to pull it up, but have you ever heard the noise I'm opening myself up here, but have you ever heard the noise a tortoise makes when it's making love?
Why do you know this?
Because it's possible.
Something that you know. Like, no, I don't know what it is because I'm a grown-up.
Would you like to hear what noise a tortoise makes when it has sex? Give me a moment. Okay, so the video that I've found is, and again, sorry to everybody that's on Spotify, you will hear the beautiful audio treat that is on the way. But if you're on YouTube, can I just say you're in for a treat? What I found, and it's on YouTube, and it is because there's lots of videos about this, because then...
We're going to play this. We're going to play the video.
Yeah.
Tortoises have... No, don't do that. Why are you going to do that?
Because...
It's not big and it's not clever. At least I do it.
Watch it, Karl. Watch it.
I don't want to see that.
Listen.
No. Oh, switch it off. That's cruel. Switch it off.
How's it cruel?
Well,
listen.
It is. Oh, that's so mean. I can't do that. Switch it off!
Notice I'm here.
Oh dear. Yeah, so
that's haunting.
It's still going. What you don't know is it's still playing my end. I got rid of it because it's still playing mind. I don't know why they make that noise. I genuinely don't know why they make that noise.
I don't know why foxes make that noise.
It's a really weird noise. A really, really weird noise. You had a fox in your garden, you thought you were getting burgled. And then...
I thought, no, I just thought, what really, because also, like 4 a.m. when you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Thing.
I used to have
He gets up around that time, so I was like, you sort it out.
Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. I used to have I had a real bad fear when I was growing up, like as a kid. 2 things really scared me. Number one, I really was worried about like always getting burgled. One of my friends got burgled, and I just thought I was really stressed about getting burgled.
I was laughing at the fact that you went, I was really worried when I was a kid, and I went about the war.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, very good, very good. That being burgled, and if I died, does Jesus have a toilet? They were my 2 concerns.
Well,
do you know what I'd give?
But Jesus does have toilets.
Brilliant. But do you know what I'd give for those to be my 2 concerns today?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that was what I was worried about as a kid. Little did I know in my 30s that I don't need to set an alarm clock in my 30s. I just get woken up by force by all of the problems that I have to solve that day. Yeah. So anyway, the fox, that was a gift from some lovely supporters called the Vixens, and also there are 2. So we've got the Vixens.
The Vixens.
Why do they call themselves the Vixens?
Vicky.
Sorry?
Something to do with someone called Vicky?
No, I think it's just because it's a word that starts with a V, so they can call themselves Vaughan's Vixens.
Right. Okay.
It'd be rubbish if it was like Vaughan's, or you could have Vaughan's Voles. So somebody got my name tattooed on their boobs.
I saw.
So the somebody is a lovely.
I felt slightly bad for her
Ashley.
because your handwriting is like a doctor's handwriting. You do have pretty shitty handwriting.
I just think I don't know. Well, I have got awful handwriting. I'll give you that. My handwriting is.
No, I don't think it's awful.
Atrocious.
It just looks very fast. It looks like you went, oh my God.
But I took my time on that. I took my time when I signed Ashley. Her name is. Hello, Ashley. Took my time when I signed Ashley's chest. And then Ashley went, I think, a couple of days later and had that tattooed. I'll stick a picture of it up now.
So you signed her chest? Or did you sign paper and then they put the paper on the chest?
Well, no, I signed her chest.
It is.
People haven't asked me to sign their chest for a while, not since the glory days of Hollyoaks, where a personal appearance would just be signing breasts. This is, but it hasn't happened for a while, and it was a lovely trip down memory lane. But when I signed it, I vaguely remember she said something like, "Oh, I'm going to get this tattooed on me," and
not that breast, the other one.
And I thought when she said that,
Tom on the right and Vaughan on the left, cover as much space as you could.
When I did it though, and she went, "I'm getting it tattooed." I didn't believe it. I just didn't believe it. It's why would you say that? I suppose if you're not going to do it. And then when she got it done, there was that point where I showed a mate of mine, and he went, "If you'd known she was really going to get it tattooed, would you have taken more time writing it? Writing the name?" But yeah, so I signed Ashley's chest, and she had it tattooed. And
does Ashley have lots of tattoos?
Yes, she does. She has lots of different tattoos. Like
clear skin. Like it's not going to be like you sign me, where I don't have any.
Yeah, no. She's got other tattoos, and now she's got my name.
Well, that's
forever.
nice. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
do we show a picture up? Can we put a picture? Is it?
I will stick a picture of Ashley's tattooed chest,
breast.
Breast. I don't know what the correct thing to say is anymore.
Breast. You can say breast.
Can I say breast?
Yeah, you got breasts. Breasticles.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
It was all going so well.
So that happened, but also
that's cool.
While I was
only once I've ever had someone. I've never signed. I've never had signed my name for but someone had lyrics from Touch the Sky put on. It's really, really nice. They had close your eyes, free your soul. If you don't try, then you'll never know. I thought that's probably the most prolific lyric I've ever written.
I was just about to say, what idiot wrote that?
Yeah, me.
Sounds like something Bono did before he got famous. I'm kidding, but it does feel special, doesn't it? When somebody goes, something's resonated with me that much, or I like this or that song or
yeah,
this
like
thing.
your name.
Yeah, I mean that's a little bit more of a.
It's quite, dude. That's a massive thing to have someone to have you write your name on someone else forever.
Do you know what I thought?
That's mental when you really think about it.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, if only all the vixens were that committed to you.
Now I'm torn. I'm really torn because
yeah, it's great sending me a stuffed toy. Uncle John Hancock.
Let's see who's the most dedicated. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the same day that I was coming back from that show, and I rang you in the car, and we had a bit of a chat, and I was like, "Mate, this girl Ashley's had my name tattooed on her boobs," and you went. We were talking on the phone, and then you had a little car accident, and all I've written down was Carl crashing the car while he was on the phone to me.
No, first of all, I didn't crash the car. I want to make that very, very clear. I did not crash my car. So
before you tell me exactly what happened, my end of the phone call, it went like this. I heard a bang, and then Carl went, "I've got to go, mate. I think I've had a crash," and then the phone went dead.
So I didn't crash my car. As you come into so when you come into my drive, you come off like the M4, whatever, then you come on to another roundabout, you come up. And as you've got to turn left into my drive and then drive up it's got like quite a steep drive to get up to my house. And because I've got an SUV, it's quite big.
You have. Did Tom Cruise buy that for you?
Dude, the amount of times that we've been super lucky. Yes, we work hard, but we've been super lucky. We had the Ford ad, and we had this Mercedes ad, and then we've had two Mercedes ads. That's right. But one of them was like for this super duper sleek as hell Mercedes, and it's the only time that I was like said to the agent that got the gig, I was like, "I won't take the money this time. Just get them send me a car. I'll just take a car instead."
They said no, didn't they?
The reply was, "They're not paying that much."
Brilliant. That would be the thing I would say to my agent as well. Immediately, I'd be like, "Look,
I'll take a car instead.
Take a car."
Yeah.
But there's a reason why the people who work for Mercedes don't drive Mercedes as well. Just, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I think they're great. Keep using the music.
Yeah, brilliant. And Mercedes, if you're watching, I am in the market for a new vehicle. Can I do it? Just because you've said satellites, it's reminded me of that group chat. Can we throw him under the bus and put the video up of Adam that he sent to the group singing Satellites?
Yeah.
Adam sent me a text and said, "Do you think we could do a duet of this when he's coming down to do a gig with me?" And I said, "No." And then he sent a video of him singing Satellites. I don't know whether I'll keep it in. I'll have to ask his permission. No, I won't. Here it is.
Where I am, I'm not dead. I'm a satellite.
So you were driving your car. You were driving your SUV.
I came up the road. No, I say that because it's a big car.
Yeah, it is to a big
swing.
house up the hill to Tom Cruise mansion. Oh, Mission Impossible mansion.
I haven't helped myself because I've gone and you have to drive up this steep drive to get
through the gates, past the fern trees. I wave at the gardener.
Mate, I've had a hard year. I had to get rid of a butler last year.
But no, we do work really hard.
So
we do work really hard.
I drove up, so I turned round, and what I did, and all I did, was clip the curb with my wheel, with the back wheel, as I was coming round. That's all I did. But it went boom, that.
I heard the noise on the phone.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh no!" I gotta go. I think I might have hit my car, and I didn't really know at the time what.
I also don't think you called me back. Oh no, you did call me back.
And I was like, so I drove up to the top of the drive, parked the car,
Close the gates.
I got out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pressed the button to close the gates at the bottom. And then I pressed the other button, which opens the garage door, so I could drive it in and check it out.
Brilliant. And park it next to the other couple of cars. Yeah.
That's not true.
And as you walked out, you just said to the gardener, polish these when you've got a chance.
Yeah, I literally got the keys and I just threw them at him and I said, sort my back wheel out, is it? I just clipped the curb.
And as you walked into the house, you dropped a little bit of money, maybe £4 on the floor, and went,
change.
Treat yourself. just quick.
None of that's real.
Just
I
quick.
drove up the drive. I parked at the top of the drive.
And you got out, and there was
I
nothing wrong
checked
with
the car out, and it was nothing wrong at all. So I went back on our security cameras to see what had happened, and I literally just. Usually, what I do is I go down the bottom of the road and I turn, and then I come back, and it's like properly pull in. It's like pulling in off the left side of the road, and up the drive is kind of. The car's a bit big for it.
So Carl got out his
all
car,
it was.
And it
I
turns
didn't
out
crash my car.
And it turns out there was nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah.
Just quickly, when I joked about that throwing money for your butler or your gardener.
I don't have a
floor.
butler. Not anymore.
Mm.
COVID.
Just a handyman who comes around and does all my stuff. No,
Juan.
there was a gig I did. It was years and years and years. It might be even 7 or 8 years ago, and they'd booked me and I was in the band at the time, so they booked me and the boys, and we turned up at this. It was just the biggest house you've ever seen in your life. Anywhere in the country, it would have been like 5 million quid, but it was in central London, so it was 25 million quid. And they put us in this this little room, which was not a little room. It was bigger than my entire house and your house put together, but it was like their secondary living room to get ready in. And it had a 3D TV before 3D TVs were a thing. And we're all sat there with the glasses on watching it. And the organizer comes in. He goes, you want some food, lads? And we went, oh, that'd be wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, kind sir. And he took probably about 200 quid out of his pocket in 50s and just threw it on the floor in front of us and went, get yourself a pizza, and left.
Wow. I have a kind of little story similar to it. I played a wedding once, years and years and years ago. At this
for Tom Cruise?
Again, not for Tom Cruise, no. I just went to his. I wasn't playing it.
Excellent.
I played a wedding, and this guy had booked me, and basically, this venue. I turned up to do a sound check the night before and set up, and I had a parker on, and the guy from the venue went, "You know we're a 5-star hotel, right?" Literally said. I was like, yeah. You know it's freezing outside, right? So I got a parker on. It's like, I'm just letting you know. Just we have a standard. That's what he told me. Anyway, so I set my gear up, and I went back the next day to do the gig. And as you walk in, there's these big steps going up, like the main kind of ballroom of it, and then this
a bit like in your house. I'm just trying to liken it to something like the ballroom you've got at your place.
Kind of, just not as big.
He's lost touch with the common man.
No, I haven't. £5.50 is a bottle of milk.
Is it? Here's a
I
grand.
don't know.
Go and get me tea.
I just
What?
get my butler together. So these steps were like going up, and this guy was at the top of the steps, and he had a wine glass in his hand, and it was the dad of the groom.
Okay.
Wine, like a red wine glass in the top of his hand, like balancing like that.
Holding it like, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Little pinky out, yeah.
And just went, like did that wolf whistle thing and went, "The fucking singers, yeah!" So he'd clearly made all his money, like he was a common man who'd made loads of money to book.
But they're the best. Like when people,
dude, it gets better. I'm so sorry, it gets better.
No, go for it.
Then the groom, I'd finished the gig. We had an all right gig. It was like one of those gigs where then you like take a little break and someone grabs the mic and they tried to sing. Everybody was just really drunk. And then as I was leaving, I was packing the gear away, and as I was leaving, the groom was standing at the fire door with the dad, like ragingly shouting at each other, a bit like the wedding singer where he goes, "The best man, the better man." A bit like that, right? "No thanks to you, Dad. Self-taught." Bit like that. And they were screaming at each other. And in the end, the groom pulled this wad of money out of his pocket, threw it at his dad, like the money slapped him in the chest. And he went, "See, I can make my own fucking money," kind of thing, like really aggressively. And I'm like carrying speakers out with my old man going,
Should we pick that up?
"You shouldn't be here right now."
Should we pick that up?
Bro. So we started packing the gear away, came back in, took a bit more. The dad went, "Really sorry, boys," and they left. But they left all the money on the floor because the dad wasn't picking this money up.
How much money are we talking about on the floor?
I reckon it was about 80 quid.
All right, when you said he picked a big wad of money.
Oh, so it was like, like pulling up, about 80 quid, like 5s, 10s out of his pocket.
So a tank of diesel.
Yeah, but still, 80 quid's 80 quid, bro.
£80 on the floor.
You're losing mind. You're losing touch here with a fucking common man.
Don't get out of bed. Don't get out of bed for less than 90.
Brilliant. So we packed the gear, came back in, packed a bit more, came back in, and after the fourth one, my dad went, "Let's just have a Chinese."
Brilliant.
We picked the money up, had a Chinese.
Well, there you go. They're not going to miss it, are they? They're not going to miss it at all. We talked about. That was it. Really, really quick. This is a good one for you. Going on from your gig that you've just talked about there. So I did a few shows recently on the Isle of Wight.
Yes. How did they go?
Really good. Really, really great to be back. I forget if we've talked about doing gigs yet. Or
no, all I remember is calling you and the time it took you to get on that ferry.
Oh mate, it took me 8 hours to get there. And
I had a studio day, didn't I? And I called you on the way.
And I arrived, so I left at 11:30, and I got there about 8 o'clock. And I don't mind. She'll be watching. She's a patron of the show. She'd booked me for this gig, and I turned up after 8 hours in the car. Hadn't eaten, hadn't had a wee or anything, and she went as a joke when I arrived. "Time to call this. Better get set up," or something like that. Or, "Well, you're a bit bloody late." And I knew it was a joke, but at the time I was like, I will punch you in the face. No, I didn't. I didn't say that. And I knew it was a joke, but that was one of those things where I was like, oh God. And I was up and singing within like half an hour, 40 minutes. It was such a long day, but the gigs were brilliant. It was a fabulous few days. And I think I did 4 or 5 private parties, and then I finished with like a ticketed gig, which was great. And I got to the ticketed gig to set up, and it's at a really cool bar. The way that they've laid it out for COVID is a little bit awkward because you've got people on the left and on the right, and you have to continually spin or they can't see you, but that just keeps me on my toes. Now, previous night that they'd had at this bar, and it's great, I'm going back there, this isn't a dig, but the previous night they'd had at this bar, they'd had a drag queen there. And I said to the guy who was helping, and he was super helpful, I said, "Can I move around? Because obviously everybody can come in masks, but then they've got to sit down. I don't know when this is going to go out, but at the time, that's what you had to do." And he said, "Yeah, no, you can move around." And he showed me a video on his phone of this drag queen the night before working her way around the tables and stuff. And I was like, brilliant, as long as I know I can do that. Anyway, turns out that the drag queen is called Fanny Quivers, which I think is probably one of the greatest drag queen names I've ever heard in my life.
I've never been to see a drag queen. I know. Oh, no, I don't know that. So my friend Kerry does it, and I don't know that he calls himself a drag queen. I think he's more like he does like impression. He'll do like Shirley Bassey, and then he does some comedy, and
it's like stand up. It's a bit like stand up sometimes.
It's an art. It's
yeah. But listen, it is, and they look, when they're made up, incredible. So anyway, Fanny Quivers is the drag queen that's been on there the night before. So I'm setting my stuff up, and there's like I can't describe it. It's not a poster. It's like a piece of art that's lent against the wall behind the stage, and it just says, "I heart Fanny." So it's I, and then a heart emoji, and then Fanny.
Yeah.
And I'm setting up, and I'm thinking that we're moving all the tables out of the way and setting it so that everything's 2 meters apart. And I'm setting up my equipment to do my sound check. And I said to the guy, I was like, is that going to be there tonight? Because here's in my head, I'm going, this is the first ticketed gig I've done in 2 years. And every photograph is just going to be of me on stage that people take at the gig with a thing behind me saying, I Heart Fanny. And he was like, well, we'll just leave it there. And I was like, I don't know if I can perform in front of a great big sign that says I Heart Fanny. I mean, I do.
It's not true.
We all do. No, we all do. Let's be honest. We all heart Fanny in some way, shape or form. But I don't really know if I can stand in front of a board with it up. So anyway, long story short, we took the sign down and currently it's hanging above my bed.
For real, in your house?
No, of course it's not. It belongs to the drag queen. Yeah, so that was it. But it was amazing. I did, joking aside, I did this.
Didn't you stay in a trailer or something?
It was a motorhome.
Yeah. What was that like?
It was really good. I was a bit too tall for the bed. Bit too tall for the bed. No, it was
Makes
great.
change.
It was great. Do you know what was brilliant about it? Because I stayed there for 2 nights in a row. What was ace about it was not getting up in the morning and putting everything in a bag and going to another travel lodge or Premier Inn, exploding your bag, going and doing the gig, coming back, getting up back. It was nice to just be set for like a couple of nights. They're really cool, and I want one so bad. I want one even more now because we talked about it on a previous episode.
Yeah, I remember you said John's got one, and he's going to.
He said on the podcast. He said on the podcast that I'm editing at the moment. He said he would never lend it to us. He said his words are, "You boys would destroy this. You're never ever having it." But it was great.
Wrong.
It was great. But the best feeling in the world, and I haven't had it for so long. I finished the last gig that I did, and mate, I was going to bed once I'd finished these like garden parties in the day at like 9:30. I was so terrified that I was going to lose my voice doing that many gigs in a row, that I was like, I've just got to go to bed. I've got to look after myself and all this. And I almost took any enjoyment out of like the downtime I had, because I was just like, I'm never going to be able to sing by the time it gets to the last one. And I got to the last one, mate, and it had sold out, and I finished with Satellites, and they all put the lights on their phones and they sang it to me, and I cried. I genuinely had a little tear, a little cry. It was that special.
Shoot me now.
Why shoot you now? That was just me. We've talked about I Heart Fanny. Now we've got to bring the serious edge in.
And then I had a little cry.
I did have a little cry.
Oh, everybody sing my song back to me. I had a little cry. Shut up.
Yeah, I did. I had a little cry. And
no, I am having a little cry because these packet of space invaders, or space raiders even, are sitting in front of me and I'm desperate to eat them.
Well, you can't eat them when we're shooting a podcast. Talking about food, another thing we mentioned the other day was Wimpy. Because
bro, yeah,
when you were driving to me, I've got a Wimpy right by my place.
No, I drove past it and I was like, no one's got a Wimpy. Wimpy went out way before like BHS went out.
No, but Wimpy, I think, in the
Wimpy's
comments,
not a thing anymore. That's you must be the only one in the world.
No, because we've got lots of people who watch the show, and lots of people. Obviously, if you're listening, you can't comment. But if you're watching it live now, stick in the comments. Do you still have Wimpy? Because for me,
no one's still got a Wimpy, dude. I'm telling you,
mate. We used to have
there now.
We used to have 3. We had 2 in Stafford. One was in like a hacienda building. One was like in a shopping centre, and then we've got the one that's right by my house that you drive past every single time.
We used to have a Wimpy in Swansea. It was kind of gone, but by the time I was old enough to kind of have like party, like a birthday party, it was gone. But it used to be my brother would say that if you had your party at the Wimpy, because it was always plated burger and chips, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's their selling point.
It was like everybody was desperate. All the poor kids had it at McDonald's, even though the McDonald's ones was the better burger, like the better.
No, I'm not having that.
Oh yeah,
Wimpy. I thought you were going to say McDonald's is the better burger. Wimpy is amazing in terms of.
I've never tried a Wimpy burger.
Right, do you know what we're going to do? Like, next time you're here, we're going to do a podcast. We'll do a little bit of a thing where we're at Wimpy.
All right.
It's mega. Honestly, it's mega. You have to wait a little bit for it, and it is quite expensive compared to McDonald's.
Well, you can buy.
What do you mean I can buy?
You're loaded.
Well, I'm not
You told
really,
me
am
the
I?
other day it was raining. You said, I got to buy an umbrella because it's fucking raining money.
Can
Carl, you said to me, Carl, can you get me a shovel for Christmas so I can fucking dig up all this money?
Yeah.
Bury it.
Well, that never happened. And
It
those
did. You
words
said
were never said.
I'm rolling in it.
No, I didn't.
Would you like to own your own restaurant? And if so, at what food would you serve?
I've thought about this.
For real?
Yeah.
Because someone that I follow on YouTube has just opened a kebab shop called Jonah's Kebab, like
Brilliant.
Bob's Burgers, and opened it in LA, and it does incredibly well.
If I was going to open a restaurant, and I have thought about this, it would be the sort of theme. It would be a Mongolian barbecue.
Okay.
And I'd probably call it Mongo Vaughan's. Or Mongy Vaughan. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I don't know. Mongolian Vaughan would probably be, or Vaughan's Mongolians. I don't know. But basically, Mongolian barbecue is you sort of pick you plate up all the meat that you're going to have, or whatever you're going to have, vegetables or whatever it is, and you plate it up raw, and then you sort of throw it all on this big grill in front.
I love it raw in the middle.
It's good. You don't need to employ a chef.
Okay.
Because you sort of cook it yourself. But
yeah, but see, I've been to a steakhouse once where
they give you a rock.
Yeah, and you cook your own steak.
I don't want to pay 25 quid to cook my own steak.
25 quid and a bloody rest.
I know. I was testing you there.
You were like pulling that right down. Yeah,
it's £100 for those. And
you got to cook your own food. I said to Claire, I was like, "What the f? I'm cooking my own food, yeah? Could have done this in the house."
Yeah, it does. It does feel a bit weird. And also, what you tend to do is at the end of that meal, you do then touch the rock and go, "Is it still hot?" And
yes, it is.
And you quickly find out it is indeed very hot.
Yeah.
Other end of the spectrum. Go on.
Go on. No, I was going to say that I would open a cereal shop.
Of course, you would.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything more vanilla than you selling cornflakes to the masses.
No, so like you come in and you have cereal all day cereal shack.
Okay, tell me how that works then. So box of cereal's £2. How much are you charging for somebody to come in for a bowl of crunchy nut?
£1 a bowl.
Right. How are you paying your rent? On your premises.
Well, if I got the money to open a cereal shop, I'm not worried about rent, bro.
Okay, let's do basic maths on this.
No, I don't know. I don't. I think it'd be really popular.
I think it'd be great, and I think the reason people haven't done it is because
central like
London
town. Yeah. Or, well, no, like I was thinking like Cardiff or something. Start in Cardiff, something like that. Cereal shack, like Shake Shack, but with cereals. And you can go in and you can have all different types of cereal from all around the world. Yeah,
it's great. Listen, it's great. You could go in and have Lucky Charms or you know, like from America. I get the concept. What I'll do, because we're shooting a few episodes today, and what really turns me on is statistics. So what I'll do is, while we have a break in between episodes, when we come back, I'll work out what the basic cost of renting a property in Cardiff would be. Then I'll work out what the overheads would be for you and say 2 or 3 staff. And then I'll work out.
Well, maybe. But all right.
I just want to work out how much you'd have to charge for a bowl of cereal. And how many bowls of cereal you'd need to sell.
Here's the thing: if you put it with like a sneaker store, like Foot Locker or something like that, if you kind of like put it next to that, and you did milkshakes and like what are those? They say the biggest markup is on slushies. So like Tango.
Ice Blast.
Tango, Ice Blast.
Bloody love a Tango Ice Blast.
So on a Tango Ice Blast, there's like for 16 cans
people
of
won't
Tango.
know why I'm laughing.
No, I'm going on. For 16 cans of Tango is like the equivalent to 1 Tango Blast.
What, in terms of sugar?
You got to sell 16 cans to sell 1.
Oh, wow. So they really are marked
up high. There's a massive like markup on it because it's just the syrup.
They say that in cinemas and stuff like that, though. They say that the film tickets, for them to like get the rights to play the film, and like say Odeon or whatever, for them to buy the latest. Let's pick a film, Tom Cruise's latest film, just for argument's sake.
Did I do the music for that?
Did you?
Oh.
But let's say they get that. It costs them a fortune. And obviously the buildings are huge. And if they don't sell enough tickets to the thing, they make all their money on like post-mix Coca-Cola and popcorn. You know,
I can imagine.
You buy a Coke and a popcorn at the cinema, it's like 10 quid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more than
like
the cost of the film.
Dogs, I never have the hot dog at the cinema. First of all, I'm always worried that it's been there all day, just turning on that tiny little rotating thing.
I do like watching
I don't eat
that.
pork either, so I couldn't have it anyway. But it does like the markup on a hot dog. It's like a hot dog and a stale bun in the cinema is like
£7
£6 something.
Yeah. It's madness. It is. But I like occasionally I have a hot dog. But I also think
what about nachos in the cinema? It's weird because they start off great, and if you
I was about to say, and then
so America, you have your nachos, and then they have this like cheese sauce. And you used to, probably not now because of COVID, but you used to be able to go to the pump and put your own cheese, like melted cheese sauce, which is clearly like the worst calorific. It's not cheese either. No, it's just
salt and oil.
Disgusting substance that tastes amazing that you put in your body, and you put it on top of your nachos, and then you also have like a side salsa with it, and it's like, oh, I can't wait to dig into this. You get in the cinema, lights go down, it's like, oh, I don't know what I got you now. Got to put my light on my phone. Someone shouting at me, switch the light off.
Talking about like food that shouldn't be good but is. Do you know that KFC have brought out their own crisps?
Oh,
so it's
no,
crisps.
I don't like flavored crisps like that. Just stick the cheese and onion, salt, and ready salted.
You are ready salted.
I love a packet of ready salted.
No.
I love a packet of ready salted.
Gonna play into your hands with this one here, but I'm old enough to remember when you used to buy crisps with a little sachet of salt in that weren't salted.
Honestly.
Yep, used to have to salt them yourself.
Amazing. That's so weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So you just have like the crisps were plain.
That's why they were called plain crisps, but that's why they're called ready salted and not salted, because you don't have to salt them yourself.
You're such an old.
Yeah, well, old or educated, I'm not sure, but
well, old because you knew when they you had them when they came out.
We'll end this episode on a hindsight thing, right?
Okay.
If you could go back, right, in time, and tell, like, past Carl, like, say, go back to Carl when he's 17, just about to become a man. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah.
I'm not sure I'm there yet, but yeah.
Go on. You are like a little Haribo boy. But if you could go back
like
to
the Milky Bar kid, strong and tough, and only the best is good enough.
You know my brother who was on the podcast.
Yeah, I do know your brother was on the podcast. Yeah,
he was in the final 2 to be the Milky Bar kid in the adverts.
Wow.
Yeah, look at him now. There is the gag in it is he was almost the Milky Bar kid, and kids are really cruel. And at school, everyone just screamed at him, "The Milky Bars are on you." And Bob was like, "I've only got £1 for this vending machine. They're not."
I wonder if the Milky Bar kid got free Milky Bars.
Absolutely did. Absolutely did. Yeah, I did.
Just genuinely, like all jokes aside, because it sounds like a joke, but genuinely, so he could say to his mates, "The Milky Bars are on me."
But I never
because imagine he couldn't say it.
I never
Milky Bar would be like that one. It's only one kid, and he couldn't tell his mate. He's like, "No, boys, I'm sorry, guys and girls.
That's just something I say on TV.
Milky Bars are not on me because they never gave me any, and they didn't pay me enough money to buy any Milky Bars for anyone, so they're not on me. Only when I'm on the TV."
Do you reckon when he got like?
Although going really quickly to people not really realizing about the difference between TV and real life, you put a picture of you up with no tattoos, and someone went, "You're like, I shit them, mate." It was the funniest comment I've ever read in my life, because there was more than that. Obviously, you're dressed to play a part. You look like shit, mate. I wouldn't keep that mustache if I was you.
Yeah. So I put a picture up recently on social media, just like quickly before I talk about that. I need to get this off my head because it's been in my head for a while. Do you reckon when the Milky Bar kid like turned 25 and he was a man, do you think there's a little bit of like a sexy seduction thing? When his girlfriend's coming back from work, he just lies naked and puts a load of Milky Bars on him to cover up his bathing suit area, and his girlfriend walks through the door and he goes, "Hello, love, Milky Bars are on me," and it's a different way of spinning it. Anyway, I put this picture up on social media of me dressed clearly to go onto set.
As a 70s porn star.
Do you know? And it got so much hate. Honestly,
Yeah.
so much hate. I was having direct messages. Even
if
Adam
only
Westcott.
I had 10 accounts, I would have trolled you as well.
Yeah,
I
Adam
didn't
Westcott.
need to. I didn't need to. But it was like Carl finally had his day, and he didn't need to start the trolling on Tom. Just let the world do it for him, because people were fucking idiots to you.
They were, and they sent me direct messages. Adam Westcott rang me at one point, and he went, "Are you okay?" And I went, "I'm fine, mate." Like, he really cared. But people were dropping me direct messages and going, "Oh, I much preferred it when you had tattoos." And I think I responded to one person and went,
That would have cost me a lot of money to get
You
rid of.
you can't get rid of him like that anyway. I was like, "But do you think that in the space of 24 hours, I've had my entire body lasered? I've grown my hair down to
You're
my
not
shoulders."
walking around like a pepper army.
But I just thought, I'll put this. This is the picture here, and the reason I put it up because I'd showed it to you before. But I was amazed that they'd airbrushed all my tattoos off.
Yeah.
And the show was going out that night in the US, so I was really proud of it. And everybody missed that and just thought I'd put a selfie up of myself. Yeah, but they did. They hated me. Anyway, what I wanted to finish this week's episode on is if you could go back to 17-year-old Carl and you could give him some advice from what you know today, but you've only got 3 words, what would you say? So you can only say you appear, he sees you, and he goes, "Oh, you're me. Is that me?"
Okay, I got it.
And you can't even confirm or deny. You 3 words is all you got.
Invest in Bitcoin.
Do you know what mine was going to be? Buy Apple stock. That was what mine was going to be. Really good Bitcoin story for you is my mate Rich, and I think he listens to the podcast. We were
Rich.
17 or 18 for the purpose of this because we were drinking beer. And he said to me, he's like, "Mate, there's this new thing called Bitcoin." And I was like, "What is it?" And he's like, "It's a cryptocurrency. Basically, it's like money, but it only exists online." And he was like, it started like that week. And he went, "Should we just stick 10 quid in each? Buy 10 quid's worth of Bitcoin?" Which would have got us like 30 Bitcoin or whatever it was. And I went, "Let's just
It's
go."
the equivalent now to about 3 million.
It's more than that. It's hundreds of millions. And I went, "Nah." And we walked to the corner shop and we spent £10 each on some beers and some cigarettes. And that, honestly, if I'd have gone, "Yeah, go on, let's do it," and we'd have just stayed there and played PlayStation, I wouldn't be here today. Not because I'd have killed myself, because I'd be living in Portugal.
Next door to me.
Next door to you, going, Thank you very much for joining us on the Orca Turkey podcast. It has been our pleasure, as normal, as usual, to talk you through Sunday nights or whenever it is you listen to this show. As always, it is vastly important that you leave a comment if you are watching this on YouTube. I noticed you did it for a little bit and then you stopped. I'm keeping my eye on you. I am not watching you all the time when you're sleeping
Like a
or going to the
stalker.
toilet. No, kind of. Imagine me just sort of peering through your letterbox at the end of the podcast and going, "Oh, please leave a comment." Leave a comment, like it. If you haven't, wherever you get your podcasts, review it. Leave it 5 stars, leave it 4 stars. I don't mind. Just don't leave it 1 star, please. It will really hurt our feelings. We will be back next Sunday at 7 o'clock, inevitably when we are ready to rock. I love you all individually. Carl tolerates me and everybody else.
Most of you.
Yeah, kind of. Say goodbye from your slatty room. That means
Ta-ta.
the slats behind him. Drop those mics.
Thank you.